To Gareth Bacon.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and many happy returns. This is an extremely important and highly complex issue, and at the outset of my remarks, it's important to note what the government have done so far. A £1.6 billion building safety fund has been provided to remove cladding from residential buildings 18 metres and over, and there is now a requirement for installation of sprinkler systems in all new blocks of high-rises over 11 metres. And MHCLG already publish monthly data on all identified high-rise residential and publicly owned buildings where remediation works have taken place or are in progress. The EWS1 form process has been tidied up to a degree, with agreement reached with the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors to confirm that buildings with no cladding do not require an EWS1 form. In addition, funding has been provided in order to train assessors to speed up the valuation process, and within 6 months, this will lead to a total of 2,000 additional assessors to help unlock the housing market. Now, these things are a step in the right direction, but they are not the end of the journey, as the government has made clear. Much of the government action so far has been aimed, understandably, at buildings above 18 metres in height. However, up and down the country, including in my own constituency of Orpington, there are leaseholders living in buildings under 18 metres in height that have cladding on them. Under the current EWS1 process, people living in such properties are faced with a nightmare scenario that they cannot remortgage, they cannot move home because lenders will not finance mortgages for would-be buyers, and government support for remediation is aimed at taller buildings. In my constituency, I've been contacted by constituents living in Crayview Close, the Village Hall flats and the flats above Orpington's Tesco's. As I've said before in this House, my constituents are trapped and unable to move on with their lives. Indeed, as a result of fixed-term mortgages coming to an end, I note that at least one of my constituents has been raised onto a higher tariff due to the presence of cladding on their building, even though the building concerned is not a high-rise block. In addition, in Crayview Close, the freeholder is a local housing association, and they have confirmed in writing to several of my constituents that, all things being equal, costs for future remedial work will fall onto the leaseholders. This is devastating news for my constituents, so I warmly welcome the comments previously made by my right honourable friend, the Housing Minister, that leaseholders should not have to worry about the cost of fixing historical safety defects on buildings that they did not cause. RICS are due to publish the final EWS1 guidance at some point later this month, and it is vital that this gives much greater certainty for lenders. It needs to state very clearly whether an EWS1 form is required for buildings under 18 metres in height, and if it is, the government will need to be very clear in the forthcoming Building Safety Bill how leaseholders will be protected. It's crucially important that the government get this right and get it right first time.